the Montessori Checkerboard. And this is a fabulous way to teach multiplication, and kind of multiplication in the arithmetic form, not necessarily multiplication in the memorization form. Although the repetitive use of this will certainly help with memorization too. So, first step when you do this is you're going to want to make sure that your child understands what each of these squares mean. Ignore the numbers here for right now. I have that set up for problems, but say we'll take a 5 bar. So if we set it here, that is 5. It's 5 units. If you set it here, this is the tens spot, and you can tell because it's blue. So this is actually going to mean 5 tens, 0 units, or 50. 5 hundreds, 5,000, and you can keep going on and on. 5 million. Also up here, this is 50 or 5 tens, 500, 5,000. You can jump around as your child hopefully will be able to do with a lot of confidence before you proceed to anything else. So this is going to be 1,000. This is 5,000, 50,000, 500,000. This is 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, 5 million. And you can, oops, sorry. You can keep going on and on all the way to over there, which would be 500. No, it would be even bigger than that. 5 billion, I think. So that's the first step. Once your child is fairly confident and fluent in that, of course you can build all different numbers and see if they can say what it is. So this would be 54,800. Then you can move on. So the next step, well, the next 4 steps is what I want to explain. Experience this works very well. 4 passages of the checkerboard. So you start out with, after the introduction, you start out with the first passage. When you're in the first passage, you can start with smaller problems, such as this, say, where you have your multiplier and your multiplicand, or you can make it more large. You want to start out perhaps smaller and grow your problem within the first passage. Once they've really got the hang of that, then you can move to the second passage. When you start with that second passage, you're going to want to start smaller again and get bigger and bigger numbers as you proceed. And then the third passage, you're going to start smaller again, then grow to larger numbers. Same with the fourth. Start small, grow to larger numbers. So for the demonstration right now, I'm actually just going to use the same problem. And I'm going to show you the 4 different passages and what each of them looks like and how they kind of compare to each other. So here we go. I always start here with the units. You can remind the child of that. If they've been doing Montessori, they will know that. So 7 taken 3 times. So you're going to have to get out 3 7 bars. 2 taken 3 times. So 3 2 bars. 3 taken 3 times. 4 taken 3 times. You'll notice the way I move my fingers. It's actually very deliberate. I don't know if this is something I picked up when I was training or just in the classroom. It will come in handy later when you need to have kind of a placeholder for what square you're putting the beads down on. And then even when it gets more complicated, I'll use my left hand to mark this spot. I'm right-handed, so I'll grab the beads and know where to put it. So for now, we're going to go on to the next. We have 7 taken 2 times. 2 taken 2 times. 3 taken 2 times. There we go. And 4 taken 2 times. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way. And what you do next is exchange, or not exchange, I'm sorry. What you do next is move down the diagonal. So we're going to put the like numbers together. So here we have our tens. We're going to put it down with our tens. Hundreds to hundreds. thousands to thousands. And we have 10 thousands with this number. And then what your child is going to do is count out the beads. Now, at this point in time, chances are they're going to need to count them out individually. There's a chance they might know this problem, 7 times 3 is 21. But generally speaking, the child's going to be counting them out individually at this point. So as an adult, we know this is 21. But your child, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so all the way to 21. Now what I do is you take the 21. And I always show them in my hands. And when you give this lesson, sit next to the child. So you're both facing the same way. So they'll see 21. This would be 12, 110, 2 units, but really we want 21. 2 units, 1 unit. 2 tens, 1 unit. There we go. So the unit goes here and the 2 goes here. And by the way, when you're giving these lessons, just as I'm doing, you might slip up and say the wrong thing. You might make a mistake. It's totally not a big deal because this is a learning moment for the child as well. And maybe like in the classroom, they got the biggest kick out of when they would catch me saying something incorrectly and they would correct me. And it's fun and it shows how you can learn as a team. So don't sweat it if you're saying things incorrectly, just like I am right now. So again, your child's probably going to count out each of these individual beads. But we know that this is 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. At this point, take all the beads away. Even though you know you have to have a 2 there, take them away. Unless the child figures that out on their own, just follow the same steps. 22. Goes here, because we're done with the units. We have the tens in here. So we know this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Oops. All right, so we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Remember, this would be 91, but we want 19. And this is 8 and 1 is 9. So here is our product. So we have 99,521. And that is correct. So that's the first passage. Do that a bunch of ways or a bunch of different problems. Grow your problems. Use up to the thousands. If your child's super excited, go like millions times thousands. See what happens. Some children love to just do this over and over and over and over. And it's like they'll kind of tell you when they're ready. They might just enjoy this and want to do it for weeks or months at a time. And that's absolutely fine. There's no... I feel like there's no rush to move ahead. Follow the child. If they seem like they've maybe lost interest in this a tiny bit, maybe that's a good time to, hey, let me show you the next step kind of thing. So the next step is called the second passage. Now this skips a step. When you lay out the beads, you're going to lay them out. You're going to lay out less. So let me show you. So here, we're going to start over the same way. 7 taken 3 times. All right, 7 times 3, that's 21. 21. All right, 2 times 3 is 6. So as you can see, your child is going to be a little bit more fluent and facts at this time. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 12. 7 times 2 is 14. No, that's 41, 14. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. And that's it. Now we're going to slide and exchange. So 1, we have 6, 10, 12. Now at this point, the child may realize just leave the 2 there and stick a 1 over here. If they haven't realized they're on their own yet, keep following the regular process where you take everything here and put it here. Let them make that discovery. It's super exciting for them when they do. Don't tell them that one. So we have 9 and 4 is 13, 14, 15. 15. 6, 7, 8, 9. And 8 and 1 is 9. So again, our product is 99,521. Okay, so that is the next step. That's the second passage, that's it. The third passage is when you start writing things down. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can record. One is using what we call arrays. And I'm going to show you a page from my album. It kind of looks like this. This will be a separate lesson all in itself, and I don't have this one prepared. So just know, like, you can make arrays out of it, and maybe I can share this one next. And another way, which is what I'll do today, because it is what people are more traditionally used to, is where you write down. I'm just going to show you an example from my page. This is not the problem. But partial products are these, what you come up with when you multiply by the 4, the 2, and the 3. So the 4, the 20, and the 300. This is how we, generally speaking, probably learned how to do multiplication. So these are all called partial products. And then at the end, you add your partial products to get the final product. So this is how we're going to record. And let's see if I have some paper. Try to get all prepared for this. And of course, you always forget something, you know? Just as you do when you're teaching. So maybe this is a really good real life example. So normally with my students, they'd have a composition book, which is what I generally use, what they would call their work journal or work notebook. But I'm just going to use this piece of cardstock. Some students may want to record their answers using green, blue, and red colored pencils. At this point, they might kind of just be off of that, which is what happens as kids get older. So I'm going to honor that by using my black marker. So you're going to show them how to write out the problem. A common mistake that I made early on in teaching, is make sure when you write down 23, you're not accidentally writing down 32. That is something that can easily get flipped just because of the way this is structured and the way that we learned when we were children. So like, just heads up for the adult. The child likely will be perfectly fine with that, but keep an eye out for that. So we're gonna do the same problem. Chances are, it really doesn't matter. You could jump to bigger problems at this point with your child if they're confident in this work. Feel it out. I'm just going to do the same problem so you can see the same process different ways. So we are going to do the problem the same way we did with the second passage, where you don't stick out every bead, you kind of do each problem on its own and then put out the individual products. So we're going to do it that way, and the difference is recording the partial products. So here we have 7 times 3 is 21. Whoops. 21. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so now we're going to pause and we're going to record this. Oh, exchange first, sorry. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're going to record. So you're going to show in the unit spot, you're going to write a 1. And the 10 spot is 8. Then we have a 900, 2,000, and 10,000. It might even be helpful, see what you feel is best for your student, but it might be helpful to use gridded paper at this point so they can really see how the numbers line up on the paper. But do that at your discretion. I'm gonna leave this here. Now I'm gonna do 7 times 2 is 14. 14. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. Exchange, so this becomes 5. And now we're gonna record our partial product again. Now, remember, this is actually the tens place. So this is 40 or 4 tens. So we're gonna leave a spot here, write 4. They can write a 0 if they'd like. They do not have to. Totally preference. 5, 6, and 8. And now we're gonna do our slide. Exchange, so we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, well, that worked. I had those in my hand, which the child will probably notice at this point. 6, 7, 8, 9. And 9. So we have 9,900. Nope, 99,521 again. And so then you're going to show them this. You record your answer or your product. You always want to try to use the correct terms. And there we go. You can even show them how these numbers add up. That would be helpful. Okay, I'm going to turn this over and restart our problem one more time. Our fourth passage. And what is different in this is that the child carries in their mind or keeps in their mind the amount to carry to the next hierarchy. So let's write, and then record this again. Again, make sure you write 23, not 32. Ooh. Okay. Here we go. 7 times 3 is 21. Put down my unit. I'm going to carry that 2 in my head. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 from here is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Maybe this is not the best example, but you can see here, how you kept that in your head. 2 times 7 is 14. So I'm going to put down the 4, carry the 1 in my head. 2 times 2 is 4 plus that 1 is 5. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. And now, let's see. I feel like, yeah, this is right. Oh, I forgot to record our partial products. I apologize. I knew I was forgetting something there. But this is the same as what you saw last time. That really doesn't change. See, another moment where the students could catch me making a mistake. And that's a little crooked, but you get the point. Okay, now slide it. Now at this point, see if they can do it in their head. So you have 8 and 4 is 12. I'm gonna put down the 2 and carry that 1 in my head. You don't have to, but I don't know, why not? So this is 10 and 5 is 15. So put down the 5, carry that 1 in my head. 6, 7, 8, and that 1 is 9. And 8 and 1 is 10. And then you have your final product. 99,521. So there you go. Those are the 4 passages. And I do want to show lattice multiplication, and I would like to go back and show the array, how to do that to record, because that is super helpful for a lot of different ways as well. But that will have to be another time. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much. Bye.